Previously. X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show.
Style, charisma, so start shooting already.
Welcome to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. We're shooting already.
Wow.
I am your host. One of them, anyway.
I'm the male lead.
That too. You could say. Davin Davils. And with me, with an interesting look on his face right now, is my co-host.
Get with the program. Shake that thing.
Sometimes I fear you are more interested in causing manufactured conflict than actual dialogue on the show, Devin.
What? No, only in the intro. Manufactured conflict. Mr. Vandermeyet's here. Yep. How's it going, Vandermeyet?
Not too shabby in yourself.
Not too shabby. You know, got a three-nager running around the house, so that's been stressful.
Is that a term people use now? Three-nager?
Yeah, like they say people who complain about terrible twos have just never had a 3-year-old. 3-year-olds are worse. They're called three-nagers.
And what are they when they're 4? Do we just make names for every age they have until they're out of the house?
I think 4-year-olds start to listen. We'll see.
I don't know, man. I have friends with kids. I don't know if that's the case at all.
Well, thanks for crushing my dreams, bud.
Well, it depends on the kid, I think.
Yeah, I think so, too. I get pretty good kids. All right. Well, welcome to X-Rated. Here we are, X-Rated Evolution. Season 1, Episode 8, SpykeCam. Yeah, this one was story by Rick Unger and Randy Littlejohn. And you know what? I think this is wrong. And Christy Marks as well, I believe. And I believe the teleplay is by just Christy Marks and Randy Littlejohn.
This is a lot of names here.
It took a lot of people to make this episode. And directed by Frank Poor. We hope to be talking to here on the show soon.
Hopefully he gets a buddy and he can be Frank Rich.
I guess he wasn't getting paid very well on this show.
He sounds like a writer.
Yeah. What do you think of this one?
Meh.
All right.
How about you?
Well,
I don't know, man. The more I watch the show, the more I miss the old show.
I hear you.
It's like it's just a lot of like, you know. I know it's a whole different approach. It's a whole different world, and they're building something new. I miss when they're like, bigger arcs and bigger the scope was bigger, and there's, more bigger action and more stuff going on than just like, it all feels very, very low stakes. The same. I mean, honestly, it's a struggle to find new names even to pick for our names because there's so few characters that are new in these shows, and they're usually just incidental people that are hanging around in the background, like Mr. Vandermeer.
Hey, he was important to the plot of this one.
True, he sure was.
No, you're right, and so like people say it gets better. So hopefully the show takes us for a bit of a ride. The ex-goons.
Okay.
Yeah, and oh man, that's what people say. People are saying the show gets better.
You know who also says a lot of people are saying often? Donald Trump. And I feel as though his the people he's talking about is fictitious.
Careful with your comparisons here, sir.
I think the people he is talking about are as fictitious as the ones that you were talking about.
Now mine are real and they're awesome people. They're X-Men fans.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I'm sure it does get better. Like any show, it takes time. But I don't know. Like whenever people tell me you have to watch a season or two before it hits its stride, I'm kind of like, man, if a show can't get its shit together the first 2 seasons, I don't think I can dedicate. Especially like I know I always say that about Deep Space Nine, that like season 3 is when it really like picks up. But there's a
love that
lot,
whole
but
show.
there's a lot of good in seasons 1 and 2 as well.
Oh, duets in season 1, and that's an all-time great episode.
Yeah, there's lots of great of them. I even like the Run Along Home episode, even though most people make fun of it.
Move Along Home, but yeah.
Yeah, so there's
Me
good
too.
stuff to be found there.
Ella Moraine, 1, 2, 3.
Move along home.
Yeah. Move along, move
Move
along.
along. Hopping on one foot, running around. It's great.
Well, no, look, I don't disagree. I'm hoping it gets better. I think it will, because there is room for these characters to grow for sure. And you see, like, pictures of, like, we've even had them. I don't know if I still have it here, but there are pictures of like a ton of characters from this show.
Oh, well, there's still like 4 more seasons to go.
Yeah.
4 more seasons and a few episodes. And like season 2 is 17 episodes. So they're more than just 10 episode seasons, right? So there's lots of episodes to come.
I think it's going to build out the world.
Season 3 has 13 episodes. Season 4 has 9. So,
Okay. So we're going to get through this pretty quick.
All right.
What?
I was going to ask if Beast is ever in this show. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen him.
Oh, man. I'll see if I can get that image for you. Just talk amongst yourselves.
No, I can find it. No, you don't need to do that. It's fine. I'm sure he's coming. Oh, yeah, I see him.
Yeah. Like, there's a ton of characters in this show. Like, here's a good image right here. Yeah, I'll bring this one up. But no, you're not wrong. And the thing is, like, the voice actors in this show are good, but it's so hard to just live up to the personality of the animated series cast.
Context is important too. We also just had like a nostalgia apocalypse, like everything you ever wanted from an X-Men show come out that we all watched and loved. So like, of course, that's going to be in there and setting an impossible standard for a show that came out 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago.
Aimed at a different demographic.
And also didn't have all of the stuff, all the benefit of all the stuff we know about X-Men and has come out about X-Men since 2001. So
like this one, you at least in this season, you get that feeling that it is aiming itself at a different demographic, whereas TAS, like 90s, the early 90s stuff in like 80s, a lot of the 80s cartoons, they just didn't come across that way. Like in the people we talked to from the animated series, they told us that they weren't trying to write to kids and stuff like that. So, and it came across that way. So it's like, it's just hard it was a hard act to follow. TAS was a hard act to follow. Really, the only thing that did it was 97. And that took a lot of, a few decades to simmer. But yeah, see this image here. Like, there's a lot of characters there. We get Colossus up there. Look at that. Who else we have down there? That looks like Is that Magic? Oh, that's cool. Who else we got here? Angel's there.
Who's the armadillo looking dude?
I think that's Spyke. I think he just starts wearing.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, because you don't see him in the picture.
And there's Gambit there, so look, he's standing next to Rogue too, huh?
So at some point during the show, they must change their costumes to look more like the ones from the movie. At least Wolverine's anyway. Look at Wolverine's. He looks like he's basically wearing the Ultimate X-Men costume.
He's wearing the Ultimate X-Men costume for sure. Yeah. Well, I'm not stoked for that because I like the one he's wearing. I like.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think it looks
kind of orange, but I like it.
It's very orange. It's not kind of. It is orange.
It's not bad color on Wolverine.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with a little orange.
Different way to go with it. Put your own stamp on it. Not a bad way.
Yeah, make it their own.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't we get into this one? But yeah, like I think we'll get there. We'll get there on this show. It'll surprise us. I hope. Even like the 2 or 3 parter at the end. Is it a 2-parter or 3-parter at the end of this first season? That sounds like it could be good. The Cauldron, is it called? Something like
that. Yes, I believe so. Sorry, I just have I won't say personal things. It's not that personal, but Just a friend that I haven't.
Is there anything you need to talk to me and the X?
No. A guy
No?
that's supposed to wrestle on my show this past weekend didn't show up.
Need me to step in?
Well, it happened on Saturday, so if you can time travel, sure, and you know how to wrestle.
I was a huge wrestling fan as a kid. I can wrestle.
That's incredibly insulting. I'd like to take your first body slam and see how well you fare.
Oh no, I shatter apart these days.
But anyway, he didn't show up.
He
didn't answer messages or do anything, and I just kind of like hadn't heard from him in a few days and was a bit worried about him. But someone just told me he's okay, so I guess he's sick. But he still should have told me he wasn't coming.
Yeah,
it was not
a good look.
It's a big wrench in my plans because he was in the main event. So,
did you have to step in main event it?
No, another guy did.
Yeah,
I run the show. I don't work twice. If I don't have to. I'd rather pay someone else to.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, it was all right. It's just blah blah blah. Stupid drama.
Call me.
Wrestlers some insight into wrestling. Most of them are children. They can't. They're 20 to 40-year-old men that can't figure out how to answer messages or provide stuff you ask them to do or do any of this sort of stuff. It's incredibly frustrating when you're trying to organize them to show up at wrestling shows and do stuff. Anyway, let's get into it. So we're talking about an incredibly boring episode of the show called Spyke.
See,
Spyke
didn't mind this one. I'm higher on this one than you, I think.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
This might be the best one of the season so far.
Oh, fuck you. It's the best one of the season so far.
Maybe.
How do you really think that?
Maybe it's not as good. No,
because Sabretooth is in it.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it's not a great reason.
Well, I have some reasons. We'll talk about it. Let's get into it.
All right.
We'll see where we end up.
You see, Evan
gets a bad on the same page.
We see Evan gets a bad grade on a paper that he was supposed to do on the Star Wars program because he did it about the movie Star Wars, not about the actual anti-missile space program, also known as Star Wars.
The George Bush, W. Bush's plan there that never happened.
Yeah, well, that would have been
lasers on the moon.
Would have been around the right time period.
I asked for a report on the Star Wars program. However, I wasn't talking about the movie.
I kind of love all the teachers at this school.
Also, all the teachers are like British. They're like all from other countries.
Yeah, they're all great.
I expected a story about the Star Wars program, not the Star Wars video film.
What class are they in where they're talking about the Star Wars program? That would have been like current events. Well, it does say current affairs on the.
It literally does.
Current affairs class.
And then Star Wars underneath. No, they're probably doing social studies.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I assume so. That's usually what that is, isn't it? Current events. Yes. Anyway, so then the teacher gives him a chance to earn extra credit by filming a video. Gives him digital camera. And I'm not sure how this class, like what class is he in that is where he's learning about current affairs, but then also has a component where he gets to make a video. But anyway,
I think it was just like a nice, cool teacher way of giving him a makeup assignment.
Because he does like movies, I see. So
yeah. It is a very cool teacher move. Here, take this, what would be a very expensive camera at the time, and go film something. Don't break it, skateboarder kid. Don't fall on my camera.
All right, yeah. So he's
emailing that guy right now, telling him you found his replacement.
Just telling another guy that he doesn't have to send a police to check on him.
I do this one. Wait.
I mean, you're wearing a shirt. I can't tell what's under that. No, I need to see the bare skin there to see.
You see the guns
we're talking about.
Right, the guns are coming out. This is my wrestling audition right here. Ready?
I mean, your shirt's still covering it. Don't take the shirt off. Just put your sleeves up.
All right, here's the big guns. Ready?
Oh, not bad. A little ropey, but it's all right.
I can be one of those guys who, like that other guy who wrestles with you, who's like pretends to be like a schlub or whatever. I can do that.
Definitely a landscaping body, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm wiry. I'm stronger
right.
than I look.
Oh, I bet.
These
I-
people
I-
go to the gym, they can't help me carry rocks up a hill, I'll tell you that.
I'm sure I could. I go to the gym.
Oh, let's do it, man. You want to help me landscape?
I'll carry some rocks.
Yeah.
You offer me a job?
Sure, you can help me do a
And
slate
carrying
job.
rocks for free.
Yeah, I'll pay you. In gratitude.
I can't wait to eat all that gratitude
It's
and not
delicious.
starve to death.
A little soy sauce
I
on there.
get a lot of gratitude offers for artwork. So
Yeah, I'm sure. Exposure.
yeah, right.
Want
I
some exposure?
saw a cartoon one time that always made me laugh, and it was like someone's like, I want you to draw this thing for my comic for me. I can't pay you, but you'll do great in exposure. And the guy just goes, "Oh, you like exposure?" And he just like bends over and shows him his ass, and then just
That is great.
and then just walks away. That was really good.
This is what we call indecent exposure.
Yeah, exactly.
But look, there's Spike with his camera there. It's kind of boxy for 2000, to be honest. Not quite as sleek as you'd expect for even that time. But we'll talk about cameras later, maybe in a segment.
In a camera segment.
Maybe we'll see what happens when we get there. It's going to be a good show.
So he tapes Kitty and Rogue, who are arguing in the school hallway as Kitty bumps into this Jason character, keeps showing up. And
yeah, he's high school
the
hot
dreamboat.
guy.
He's a dreamboat.
He's probably
So
the quarterback of the football team.
This school definitely has a way bigger budget. It must be a private school for sure, with a way bigger budget than any normal school, because they're doing a rock opera about Dracula. That's what they're doing as part of the school play. And he's the male lead. He's flirting with Kitty. Rogue's kind of like acting about it, and
I get that.
them.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Jason. Ugh.
Thank you, Jason.
Hey, I feel like such a dork. I mean, I really should look where I'm going.
Kitty's like, yeah. Because she's like the freshman and she's trying to impress the seniors all the time.
Yeah, basically. So then Rogue makes fun of her after he goes off to put up more posters after telling Kitty to come try out. Kitty says she might get a part in the play, so sucks to her. And then Rogue catches Spike taping them and gets mad at him for doing so without their permission and runs off in a huff. Then we see Sabretooth, who has returned and is following Evan outside the school. Not only does he know that students from apparently Sabretooth doesn't know where Xavier's school is. This is established in the episode.
No, he can't. He hasn't tracked Wolverine back there because Wolverine loses him on purpose every time.
But he also somehow knows that Evan, who wasn't in the school last time they tangled with Sabretooth, goes to the school and knows enough to follow him around to get information on how to get back to the school.
He may have been following one of the kids he knew and then happened upon Evan.
Mm-hmm.
You make a good point, but like
there's a lot of weird stuff in this episode, especially how they end it. So anyway, we'll get to that later. So Sabretooth,
I like the ending. We'll see what happens.
I don't. If there's like a mass murderer killer on the loose and you catch him, you just leave him free. You're like, we'll tangle again. We'll tangle again someday.
I do have questions about that, actually.
I have many questions about that.
All right, we'll talk about that when we get there.
Sabretooth shows up, follows Evan, knocks him off a skateboard, takes his video camera, watches the tape, and finds out the location of the school, basically. So eventually Spyke comes looking, finds his camera. Toad is trying to get him to film him doing stunts because he wants to be in Evan's movie.
He just jumps around all the time, and does nobody see him doing this? Like they're still supposed to be hiding their mutant powers, right, at this school? He's always jumping around. I've never seen Toad walk yet. He just hops.
Yeah, he's a hopper. So, so he, where are you at here? So then, Evan tells him to take off.
What do you think you're doing here, bub? Those things could have taken your empty head right off.
You are miles ahead of me, buddy.
Yeah, that's miles ahead.
So next morning, Spyke wakes up and stretches. He sends Spikes around the room when he's stretching. Storm tells him to come to breakfast. Asks about the camera. She tells him that maybe they should take a look at what he makes before he makes the film so that no secrets about the school get out. Jean's alone in a room practicing with her powers, and then he's secretly filming her through the crack in the door, which is incredibly disturbing. Oh, I know what movie I should have picked instead of the one I did for movies. All
Well,
right.
you got time. You can
No,
change it.
no, I just can't go grab it, but I'll say what I'm going to pick actually. So I'm going to slide this one off and go for that
Yeah.
later. I totally just thought of. I was trying to think. I try to keep them on brand with what I'm watching. So
Did you pick Carrie? Are you gonna pick Carrie?
no, Carrie doesn't have anything to do with this episode.
No. Kinetic
So Gene
powers.
catches him taping, slams the door in his face, flings him at the wall. He goes to the ground. He films Scott and Logan training. And when he's trying to get a good shot, he gets in the way of some of those saw blades, and that's where you played that clip.
Are you gonna pick that Jimmy Stewart, Alfred Hitchcock movie where he peeps on people with a camera?
Rear Window, but no, I'm not.
Window.
That would be a good choice as well, though. It can be yours if you want.
Yeah, maybe. Do that one. Rear Window, everybody.
So that's where that clip came from, basically. So the X-Men comes up. Logan gets after him, but what he's doing filming, Logan starts looking at what he's filming, and then sees a message from Sabretooth telling him that he knows Wolverine's at the school now because he found enough information on the tape to be able to track him back to the school.
I thought that was a funny Sabretooth move. Just film a little thread on the camera.
He's
totally
also
a
very
Sabretooth
tech savvy. The Sabretooth, he's like working cameras, recording them. I always like it better when he's sort of
Sabretooth
more
should be. He's like a super spy.
Yeah, I always kind of like him better when he's like a sadistic monster, less so than
Me
when
too,
he's like,
but
when he's like
makes him
scheming, doing little weird stuff too.
But what makes him such a scary, sadistic, just out of control monster is that he has all that skill and intelligence to back it up. Like that's why he's so
true.
crazy. Like I really want them to do Sabretooth properly in a movie where it's like he's just terrifying. He murders half the X-Men. Like I don't even care. Like just let Sabretooth be Sabretooth and set him loose in a movie. It'd be
Basically,
crazy.
just as they realize that Sabretooth knows where the school is, Sabretooth suddenly starts breaking into the school. All the X-Men come running. Storm tells Wolverine this isn't a place for his personal vendetta. They manage to send him on his way because he runs off because the combined effort of the school's defense systems and the X-Men managed to repel Sabretooth long enough for him to run off.
Cool, like Storm starts shooting the wind at him, and then Cyclops starts blasting them at the same time, and Jean's hurling shit at him.
Yeah, it's actually a nice little scene of them all working together.
And it shows like how it still makes it, even though he's defeated, makes him look formidable because it took a lot.
I mean, I don't know. He got beat by just Cyclops and Nightcrawler last time in Wolverine when they're in the parking garage.
He didn't look as good.
And he got bit this. He got beat pretty quick this time too. So I don't know. He doesn't look very. I don't know. He doesn't seem very as big a threat as the other one does. That's for sure.
He's not the Sabretooth I would like. Well, they always beat him really easy in the other show too.
He's also like the Hulk in the other show. He's huge.
Yeah.
He's basically the same size as Juggernaut, unless
What? No.
Look at him in that show, man. He's huge.
He's as big as Colossus.
Yeah, fair enough. But Colossus is pretty big too.
He is, yeah.
Anyway,
like Juggernaut's stupid huge. It's funny. Like, do you ever see the things where it's just like you leave Juggernaut's eyes where they are to get through his helmet, and they remove his helmet but keep his eyes in the same place, and they're like way out here.
It's like a frog.
Yeah, nothing makes sense in his design, but it's great.
Wolverine tells Xavier that Sabretooth might try kidnapping a kid to get to Wolverine. Xavier says that he won't come back to school because now he knows what the defenses will keep him out. But Wolverine cautioned him that he'll do anything he can to get to Wolverine and maybe kidnap a kid or two. Spyke overhears this and wants to fix the fact that he put the school in danger. So he runs into Kitty and Rogue, who are arguing about rehearsing for the play. He asks them to help. They leave the school on a moped scooters to go to a park. Sabretooth follows them. Wolverine catches Scott leaving, tells him to stay. Scott's like, I'm just going to go for a burger. Wolverine's like, no, can't leave the school until we put Sabretooth away.
Logan, I thought you had prevented Sabretooth from following you here.
I did last time, Charles, but this time he had help.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this Wolverine, he's not there for me yet, but he's grown on me a little in this episode.
Like you said, he's more of a teacher. He's more of a teacher Wolverine. He actually is less of a loner, more of a team player teacher Wolverine. Like further along in his journey.
He had a good growl in this one.
Oh,
that's good Wolverine right there.
He's good. Well, that's a pretty good Wolverine.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're getting there. He's almost like, I don't know. He's kind of like American Wolverine. He's like into motorbikes and sounds kind of like a cowboy. It's just like he's kind of like almost like the Americanized Wolverine. He's taller and more handsome.
Have you seen Canadians are short and ugly?
We have flappy heads.
Flappy heads. I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever heard that particular term.
You don't watch South Park then?
Oh, I do watch South Park, but they don't call it flappy heads.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
Canadians with your flappy
I
heads. You
don't
don't
know if they
remember
ever
that?
said that. I know they look that way. I don't think they've ever said
No,
flappy
they said
heads.
it. Remember, like, who was it? Kyle's mom. You Canadians with your flappy heads. You
Her
just
son
don't
is
care."
a Canadian. Kyle's mom, like Kyle's brother, is adopted from Canada. Ike.
Yeah, I know, but she remembered in that movie, she's all anti-Canadian in the South Park movie.
Oh yeah, it was a million. Kyle's mom's a big fat bitch, the biggest bitch in the whole world,
Yeah.
bro.
Because they're evil.
No, they're not.
Those flappy-headed
Yeah,
Canadians.
mostly just Terrence and Phillip
Yeah.
and Scott.
All right, buddy.
Ugly Bob.
That was a funny gag. Why do you call
Yeah,
me
you
ugly
told me your
Bob?
name was
'Cause you're
Handsome Bob.
Goddamn ugly, Bob. Yeah. Classic movie. But where are we at here? Oh yeah, so there's a couple pictures here I skipped. There's that one. There's Sabretooth gets hold of Evan there. Tooth picks him, as he called it earlier in the show when he did it to Nightcrawler by accident. And then we're not there yet, actually.
Well, we're basically there. So
right.
Kitty and Rogue are dancing in the woods. Rogue absorbed some of Kitty's abilities in order to dance like her, so the two could dance at the same.
This is too good. This is a good line.
Hey, listen, Rogue. How about you shed them gloves and give K-Girl a tiny tap?
She's like, that might work, actually. Just think about the dance moves. It's good. Cling. I do like what they're doing with Rogue in this series. Like, they use her powers so well. They have her do something cool with them almost every episode.
Yeah, it's weird. They definitely lean into like memories and more than just powers that she gets from it, which is interesting.
Yeah, but even the power stuff, they're doing more. Like, they had her turn into a shapeshifter. Excuse me, last episode. And yeah, this one. I mean, I don't know why she turns into a werewolf. I mean, Sabretooth's not a werewolf.
Different ways.
Kind
Maybe the female version of Sabretooth is a werewolf.
She-wolf.
Shit, like the Shakira song. Da 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 da. Good song. Anywho, then Sabretooth shows up and they get a big fight. He grabs Spike. Spike pops at all his spikes and flings him at Rogue. Goes after Kitty, faces through her. Goes Rogue again. Rogue tries to touch him, but he can't because he grabs her hands. He's tackled by Logan, and Rogue touches him and manages to take his abilities, knocks him out. And she
that
makes
was like pretty icksome. Am I talking like her?
Okay.
That was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, when she starts talking like Kitty, because when she absorbs her abilities.
I remember when I watched this when it first came out. I don't know how far I got. I know I watched the entire first season, I think, and I don't know how much further I got.
Remember, Rogue makes a joke about when she. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
But I like the relationship. I remember liking the kind of rivalry / friendship between Kitty and Rogue. They're pretty funny together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Picking on kids, Creed? Big mistake. Yeah? Why? 'Cause it really ticks me off.
Fair.
Kind of sounded a bit like Hugh Jackman's Wolverine there at the end when he's yelling. Like when he gets mad and he yells.
He's better in this one. Like, I think maybe the reason I like this episode is because I like Wolverine better in it.
Yeah, but it's not like a Wolverine episode. He's barely in it, really.
Well, he's in it a bit. He's quite good in this episode.
He is, but like we haven't had a Wolverine story, and all they do is just say, "Oh, him and Sabretooth and Wolverine have a long history," and that's like all they do to explain this. I don't know. If I was like at the school and there's some guy with a blood vendetta against someone else, he'd be like, "Can you elaborate a little bit just for me? Because I'm pretty curious about what the story is."
I'm thinking about my past. But yeah, fair enough. But I just he's coming around. He's coming around. And this Sabretooth's okay. I mean, in a series like this, they're not gonna make him as murderous as they should. And the ending kind of has something to do with that too, I think. But we're almost there.
So anyway, after Roga knocks him out and takes his powers, her hair grows long and she grows fur on her body and gets sharp teeth and claws, kind of like a werewolf. She makes a joke, or not a joke, but she just shaved her legs last night, which which is funny. So then, Wolverine suspects that Evan had planned this, and this is part of and Evan admits that he did. This is to draw Sabretooth out so they could stop him. Because he felt bad about what happened. Wolverine is actually impressed with that he took the initiative and did this sort of thing, but also doesn't like that he put the other people in danger and grounds all three of them. And they ask him for how long, and he says, well, until Wolf Girl goes back to normal. So probably like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, she was holding on to him a lot longer than Kitty, that's for sure. So, but just hope. Good thing she didn't hang on too long, like with Carol Danvers, and she just ended up being Harry Wolf Girl forever and couldn't shed those powers. Yeah. And then we get the nice video. Well, no. First, then they go and drop off Sabretooth in the Arctic. I think that's where we're at now. So we could talk about that now, I suppose.
Well, yeah. So anyway, they take Sabretooth off and they ask what he did with him. They said they left him somewhere. He's not going to bother him. Then we see that he gets dropped off in the Arctic by Charles, and when he wakes up and doesn't remember what happened because they elude that Charles wiped his memory.
Should we talk about this?
No, let's talk about it at the end of the episode because then it's
right.
dumb as shit.
All right.
But then we're almost over. Let's just get through the end of this thing.
It's a risk.
We see the X-Men going through seeing Spike's movie in which he talks about how he has a new family with all of them and explains why he loves them all in different ways. And so
that's
nice
Auntie
and touching
Aurora at the piano. She's a real classy lady.
Yeah, she is a classy lady, that Aurora Monroe.
But even when someone's mad at me, they're still there when I need help. That's what being a family's all about. Hanging tight through the good times and bad.
I agree. That's a nice ending. That part I like. That's what I meant by I like the ending. But yeah, okay. So Sabretooth. So in a show like this, I'm not sure what you do if you actually capture Sabretooth, because in TAS they didn't even know what to do with him. They just kept him in a chair.
Put him in prison.
Stuck down.
Put him in a cage.
That's what they tried in TAS, and he just got out.
Okay, so Xavier can wipe his memory enough that he doesn't remember what just happened. Why doesn't he wipe his memory of him and Wolverine ever hating each other?
Okay, so the thing about this has come up in the comics and maybe even in TAS before. When you wipe the mind of like Wolverine or Sabretooth, it bounces back faster because of the regen powers.
There's no way the average person watching the show would know that.
No, but you could just write that in if you were going to go that way.
But I'm talking about what you're like in trying to make a structured story that the people watching the show will understand and will gel with them. If you need to read comics and know a bunch of history from other things to make that work, it doesn't work. It's bad. I'm sorry.
Then how did you like Deadpool and Wolverine?
I like what about that was different? Is wrong.
Well, it's all just referential.
That's nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
Well, you had to see things before to really enjoy it, rather than so it's like same as having to read things before.
Fair enough, but those movies are all built on a shared universe. Like it's like basically from the start, it was built in that way.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I'm saying there's a difference between referencing. Like, honestly, my wife watched that movie, didn't know anything about comics, and she loved it. So
I love that movie. It's
like it's different there because it's like they reference a lot of other movies other than X-Men movies, but it's not like you need to know that there's some weird mental power that's locked away that only works for certain characters to make that makes sense. It doesn't. They explain the world enough in Deadpool versus Wolverine for you to understand what's going on, even if you know you hadn't seen the other movies. They were in other movies, so it's answered there. It's explained enough.
The shot of like Xavier from the X.
Yeah, he looks very evil. Yeah,
it looks cool, man. Yeah. That was awesome. But it makes no sense because now he's just gonna like end up in some Inuit village and just kill everybody in the village or something. So like it's very reckless on their behalf.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They just leave, like, why not put it like you're literally it's like It's like if Batman beat the Joker and then just dumped him on the outskirts of Gotham at the edge of town and drove away. It's like,
Batman's
he's going to go
villains
do
come
bad
back
stuff.
every like 3 weeks. Like,
Well,
Batman
at least
can't
he
keep anyone
puts
in
it.
jail.
Yeah, but at least he puts him in Arkham. It's up to the people in Arkham to keep him there.
Maybe you
and they keep
shouldn't put
fucking
these
it up.
supervillains in jails if they never
Should
work.
probably just kill them, but that's just,
that's what I'm saying. They should.
well, that's not a very superhero thing to do.
But no, and especially in a show like this with the demographic it's aimed towards, I'm like, what do you do with Sabretooth? He's even like a weird character to even bring into a show like this because he's crazy and bloodthirsty. But we'll see. This one, we'll see what happens with this show. But all right, let's not belabor that any longer and get these ratings. Yeah, ratings is up next. Cool. Ratings from 1 to X. You first.
6.
I'm going to give it a 7.
Too generous.
Yeah, perhaps. But I found some of it funny. I liked that Sabretooth was around. Wolverine was better in this one. Xavier was kind of cool in this one.
Wolverine wasn't better. You just saw more of him. You barely see him in anything.
No, I think the portrayal's coming around a bit. Like, he's not all just this teacher kind of guy. He's actually, running through the woods. He loses his shit and runs off to try to catch Sabretooth, even though Storm's like, no. And then he screams about it. Like, he's just acting a little more like Wolverine. All right. X points. Uncanny X points. Who's first?
It doesn't matter.
All right, I'll go first. So
all right, I'll go first then. You're slow.
Okay. All right, go for it.
When they're practicing karate, Logan and Scott are both shown wearing black belts. I thought that was interesting. They both are black belts in karate, apparently. Well, Rogue is red and Kitty's is yellow, meaning she's just starting out. Although white, isn't white your first belt? Or is yellow?
Yeah, I only got as far as white with a stripe. I didn't last long in karate. That yellow belt was a long way off for me. They don't like class clowns in karate class.
Yeah, probably not. No, it's about discipline, right?
Yeah. This is the episode with the Buffy dance from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, is that the dance they're doing?
Yeah, the dance they're doing. It's just like shot for shot with like
that's fun.
Michelle Trachtenberg and someone else from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah. This is the Buffy episode. It's in the intro too. But yeah, classic reference.
It was the episode Bad Girls, the one with Buffy and Faith. Yeah, I just saw it.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. At the end, when they're watching Evan's video, you see Evan's teacher, Mr. Vandermeer, watching the video as well. So we're kind of given some hope that Evan has redeemed himself and got his D peeled back to possible B or C.
Very good.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Because Evan's a skater and they show quite a bit of it in this episode, it just made me think. I'm like, I wonder when Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out, because that's when skater.
Before this. Before this.
No, 5 months before this.
Yeah, not by
so
much.
Like skateboarding would have been the hottest shit in the world at the time, because that game blew up. And man, like wasn't even a skateboarder or had a PlayStation, but I still liked that game. So that was a pretty revolutionary game at the time. It brought skateboarding back into the public consciousness. So I had to look that up. Came out in September 1999, and this one started in 2000.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. That's not that interesting, so we'll skip this one. The scene
hard to follow Tony Hawk's Pro Skaters.
The scene where Rogue's hair grows out and her encounter of Sabretooth apparently is a reference to the Wiggles. Which is funny.
Like the kids thing.
There's an episode where a guy
were around in 2000.
Well, before that, yeah, they were around for a long time.
Oh wow!
Anthony Wiggles' hair keeps growing very long.
I can't believe it. I thought we were going to make it.
Also, her body, fangs, and claws all are kind of reference to like various wolf movies, The Wolf Man,
Yeah.
More Elf in London, and Thriller. She looks like the character from Thriller.
Oh, yeah, because of the gloves and stuff too, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah. She wears the the dog collars anyway, so I guess it fit. God, I thought we were gonna make it through without that thing going off again.
I'm not even mad about it anymore. It's like if you get punched in the face every day, eventually you just don't even mind anymore.
Yeah, well.
You've broken my spirit, Devin. I hope you're happy.
I feel a little bit better, yeah.
Good.
So they do Drac the Rock musical at this school. So I had to look that up, and there never was a rock musical, but there was a Drac the musical, Dracula the musical, that came out in 2001 and had like a Broadway run and stuff. So I thought that was interesting.
Dracula Rock Opera is a real play.
Oh, is it?
There, you can order it. Yeah.
Oh, it didn't
Apparently.
come up from my search. Only Dracula the musical came up when I did it.
Well, what's that? I thought I read
I'll
that it was
look
a real
it up
thing.
right now. Dracula the Rock Opera. It's an album by an orchestra. Interesting.
Frank Waldhorn's Dracula is more of a, it's called Dracula the Rock Opera. It's a musical adaptation 1992 Bram Stoker's Dracula movie starring Gary Oldman. Yeah, so someone did an adaptation of that one. That's funny.
Okay.
Apparently it can be ordered. That was going to be my next point, but it's all right.
Okay. Well,
So
you expunged on it. You can come back to me if you want.
it's okay. The song that was used when they were dancing from the Dracula musical was also used in the Rogue Recruit episode, and it's called "Who Am I Now?" and the lyrics are available online. Who am I now? Don't let me touch you because I might just take you down. Who am I now? A tough decision that keeps on coming round. That's usually those are the lyrics that they ever play. So obviously it's like Rogue's kind of theme.
Yeah, for sure.
It's also not great songwriting.
No. I thought it was funny that there's a Dracula reference and she turns into a werewolf in the same episode. I was just like, yeah, Universal Monsters reference episode. I was looking for other ones. I'm like, is there a mummy? Is there like
or a fish character that comes out of the water?
Sabretooth's kind of dressed like Frankenstein, I guess, but
maybe a little. Depending what version.
Yeah, but I still thought that was cool. Got anything else?
Yeah, they changed the opening credits of the show a little bit to reflect some of the footage from this episode. They showed Kitty dancing in the
that was always in the intro, I thought.
So I'm going to read the whole piece. As done with In Mutant Crush, a piece of the episode is altered for the opening credits. Footage of Evans' movies used in the opening credits. In the episode, Kitty Pryde is shown dancing with her arms in the air in the park. In the opening credits, Kitty's exact same dancing is done in front of a nightclub backdrop with a strobe effect. But the Kitty Pryde animation remains exactly the same. So just recycle the animation.
All right, so I think this is my last one, maybe. Porcupine. So, do I have that clip? I do have that clip.
You planned this, didn't you, Porcupine?
So, funny thing about that is that was the name they had for the character until they finally settled on Spyke. He was going to be called Porcupine.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that before. It's a dumb name.
Yeah. So, yeah, dumb name. Spike's better.
With a Y. It's cooler that way because it's got a Y in it.
So cool, man. That's how cool we were back in those days. All right. Well, that's enough X points, I suppose. So, moving on.
Hey, check it.
It's our comic reminiscences and recommendations segment. You go first because I forgot mine in the old long box over there. I'm going to go grab it.
The old long box. All right. Well, it's Christmas time. Getting there anyway. The holidays are among us. My Christmas stuff is up. So, now I figured we should start suggesting things that might be. Sorry, folks. I had a long day. I'm very tired. Things that might be Christmassy, to celebrate the holiday spirit with Christmas books. So what I'm going to suggest, well, you don't need to read this particular version of it because it was a Kickstarter, but Klaus or Claws by Grant Morrison. So this is the fancy ass shiny crazy edition that they put out on Kickstarter that encompasses all this, the 2 mini series and the one shot all together in one big volume, kind of establishing Santa as this strange Nordic guy that kind of falls into the role of being some kind of other character. Super fun, really cool little book. And of course, it's done by the greatest writer of X-Men ever, Grant Morrison. So I know Davin would certainly agree if you were here to hear
I
that.
am here.
Oh, good. You can agree in person. No need to agree, Davin. I've already said you would. So you can go on to the next your recommendation.
I appreciate that.
Did you ever read that? Claws by
No,
it's
I
really
don't
good. It's
really
fun.
seek out Grant Morrison all that often.
You fool. You're missing
I
out
know.
some good stuff.
I'm truly a monosyllabic, uncultured swine.
No, I won't go that far, but I feel like you're
I
definitely
went that far for you. You don't worry.
You're definitely missing
talking
some
for
good
each other tonight.
stories.
Let's have to you be me for the rest of the show, and I'll be you.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be good.
Wolverine's too tall.
I couldn't find the issue, so like maybe I
right.
don't have that one, but I thought for sure I did. Uncanny X-Men 173. I was like, I couldn't think of it. I'm like, did Rogue ever take Sabretooth's powers in the comics? I couldn't think of a time where it happened. So I'm like, but she took Wolverine's early on in her run with the X-Men, and that was Uncanny 173. She takes Wolverine's powers so she doesn't die. So I just grabbed this one instead because this is her first one with the X-Men.
Nice.
Uncanny 171. I should have brought this one out last episode because it's the episode where she joined the team. I thought about it after the fact. I'm like, oh, why didn't I just suggest 171? So there it is. I hope you survived the experience. Now I got to go get a copy of 173 because I thought I had it. I don't. But also, Storm number 2. Storm number 2 is out. God, no. I even had it muted until 2 seconds ago. Oh, well. So Storm number 2.
Oh, is it the Jason Liu comic?
Then
Jason Lowe, sorry. No? Who's writing it now?
No, it's Marewa Ayadele.
Oh, okay.
I probably said that wrong. Art by Lucas Wernick. It's pretty great. Like they're gonna get Storm into the magic. She's gonna be like magical as well. So at the end of this, spoilers. Look away if you haven't read this yet and you want to read it. But like, look who she comes upon here.
Oh, I already saw that online. They've been sharing that picture online a lot lately.
Okay, so Brother Voodoo, a character I like quite a bit, is gonna teach Storm some magic. So she'll be even more godly than she already is. Storm's the best, isn't she? So that'll be fun. They'll probably end up striking up some sort of a relationship too, because as comics will do. But man, the art is so good in this. Like, look at this shot. Look at this.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Who's the artist?
Lucas Wernick. Yeah. Read Storm number 2. Putting lots of shine on Storm. It's great. Even though, she's having her struggles as well. So check that out. And sorry about my soundboard, everybody. I keep my soundboard on for hours and days, and it never does anything until we start the show. So I don't know what that's all about.
Is it just that particular sound cue?
But I don't have that one anymore. I deleted it. So I don't even know where it's coming from anymore. It's just like an echo in the system. I don't know. Maybe I have to delete all my temporary files or something. Who knows? I'm not a techie. Where's Forge when you need him?
In the middle, stuck in Middleverse, I think.
Or even Warlock. Self-friend Warlock. You could probably fix that.
But I like movies, which is fine.
Oh yeah, we got a new sound bite for that. That's fun.
But I like movies, which is
I like
fine.
movies. Which is fine.
I'm not judging you for liking movies, Andre. I wanted that to be clear, so I put that in the clip.
So me. Yeah, I'm gonna suggest the 1990s Steven Soderbergh psychosexual voyeurism movie starring James Spader. No, starring James Spader, Sex, Lies, and Videotape. About deriving sexual pleasure from voyeurism through a camera. in lieu of actual physical intimacy with people. Yeah, it seems like it kind of applies here. Maybe Spike's a weird voyeur. Maybe this is the start of some freaky deaky Dave Steven Soderbergh's type movie. It could be. It could be. Also, Kyle MacLachlan, good Canadian kid, is in it. And
is Kyle MacLachlan Canadian?
Not Kyle MacLachlan, sorry, Kyle. The guy from the OC that played the dad with the big eyebrows. Kyle Gallagher. Kyle Gallagher. He's in it. Good Canadian kid. I think it's Minnie. Is it Minnie Driver? No. Who's the other person that's not Minnie Driver? The girl that played Maya on Just Shoot Me. Is also in it, whose name escapes me.
Oh yeah, I can't think of her name either.
But the actress whose name I can't think of is Andy McDowell. Her name is Laura San Giacomo. That's the other one.
Oh, and now I get the not Minnie Driver thing.
Yeah, they kind of look alike to me. They always have. But anyway, yeah, Sex, Lies, and Videotape. I think came out in early 90s. 89 maybe. What year did it come out? It won the Palme d'Or at the 1989 Cannes Film Festival, so 89. Basically 90s movie, but not quite. Very interesting film. Definitely far away from what we're getting from this show in terms of style, subject matter, attended audience, everything else. But it's a great movie. Check it out.
Don't worry, this will end soon enough, and we'll do Spider-Man, Andre.
The other
You'll
movie,
be happy.
No, I'm happy. I enjoy these times. I like to play the curmudgeon, but I really do enjoy our time together. So, the other one I was going to suggest, so to throw in there for fun, is about another group of students. They go to high school that become inadvertent mutants and then battle each other. It's the trauma classic, The Class of Nukem High.
Oh,
yeah. Lloyd Kaufman.
Trauma
the unrated director's cut, preferable.
They rate trauma movies. They all are. They all have to be
or NC-17. Well, no, yeah. I mean they're never like porn.
Maybe not Toxie.
Yeah,
Toxic Avenger. But.
I mean, there's a small child that gets run over by a car, and you see his head pop like a melon. I believe the melon was the actual effect in that. And also there's a guy that points a shotgun at a baby in that movie. So I don't know. It's not without its faults, but they're I'm really excited for the new one. The new
the Peter Dinklage one.
Yeah, Macon Blair directed it and wrote it, and I really like him. So
yeah, I'm down with that. Like it was a
Peter Dinklage is the
while, I guess. Like there was the cartoon Toxic Avenger.
Oh yeah, it's Toxic Crusaders was the cartoon.
Oh right.
Yeah, because he had a team. Okay. There's No Zone and the Junkyard, the dog guy, a Major Disaster. I used to have the comics that were adapted from the cartoon. I really liked them when I was a kid.
It's just funny that a trauma thing got adapted into a kid's cartoon.
Yeah, I know. Like for like a season. Yeah, no, I'm excited for the movie. Kevin Bacon's the bad guy. Elijah Wood is
in the Toxic Avenger
in the new one. Elijah Wood is like a weird henchman character that's like a bad guy as well. Okay. Peter Dinklage.
So Kevin Bacon will be this crazy polluter or something.
Well,
Toxie will have to go after him. Yeah,
I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. I'm really apparently for those who've seen it, it's really good.
Hero for us all. He's the environmental. He doesn't like pollution.
They were victims of the use. I still remember the theme song to the cartoon. They were toxic wasters. They were super powered heroes.
Yeah, I had some of the toys too. They even got action figures.
Toxic Crusaders. Yeah, I think I did too. Actually, I think I had Toxie.
I know I had Toxie. He came with a manhole cover. I'm pretty sure that you could throw, or he
a shield. Well, I used to have there was a Ninja Turtles character that had a mop. There was a Ninja Turtles character that was like a pile of junk. He was like a garbage man that got like covered in ooze, and he was like made of garbage. That always reminded me of him, and I had a toy of him when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, maybe it wasn't a manhole cover. Maybe it was a lid to a garbage can.
Yeah, his foot was like a manhole cover. This guy.
Yeah. All right. Well, and Rear Window be my pick then.
Cool. Yeah, good movie.
Yeah. Where are we going? History. Oh wait, I'm on mute now, so that thing will stop going off. All right, history.
Project is due at the end of the week.
I like that one. History class with old man Davin. Well, I was just thinking about camcorders of the day, so I thought I would look into that a little bit. And here are some of the most popular camcorders in the late 1990s and early 2000s. We have the Canon PV1. That's definitely not what he had. Looking at its like stats and stuff here, but the Canon FV10, that had it was released in May 2000, so he might have been able to get his hands on one, and it had an optical image stabilizer, high-powered zoom lens, and digital audio effects. I'll tell you, that camera he had some wicked zoom. Like, they don't even have zoom like that in cameras now, I don't think, because he was at the school, and he just keeps zooming in on Xavier's, and it just keeps getting better and better resolution until he's like staring Wolverine in the face, and I'm like, holy crap, this camera has the best zoom of all time. So maybe what he had,
maybe it's like a Shiar, some
1998.
crazy Shiar, altered camera.
Well, maybe, but this Canon XL1 that was available in 1998 had 16 times zoom lens, which is still not nearly enough. But it was also used by NASA and traveled to space on the space shuttle, so it was pretty fancy. Maybe he had one of those. Maybe a teacher's a NASA guy, So
Mr. Vandermeer.
There you go. Yeah, Mr. Vandermeer had a NASA camcorder that he lets kids borrow. But yeah, that would have been expensive back in those days. But that's history class. So let's get over to our extracurriculars, shall we? Ah, man. You'd fool me to thinking that's Ernie Isley. So extracurriculars. Well, we're picking up where we left off last episode. We were talking about Magneto because we're casting the ultimate cast for the MCU X-Men when they eventually come, and we agreed on Bryan Cranston, Andre's pick, but he convinced me. Bryan Cranston will be fine for Professor X, and for Magneto, Andre suggested Daniel Craig. I don't like it.
Davin can't make snap decisions, and he doesn't understand the assignment when it came to what this was supposed to be. So we need a whole week to pick the next one.
No, I remembered who it was, like right after the show was over, pretty much.
You didn't send it to me until like 2 days ago.
I know, but I've because I've been working on my case, and I wasn't going to tell you. I was going to keep it a surprise. But I almost got there during the episode. I'm like, who is it from Game of Thrones? Like, I was trying to get there, but it's Nikolai Coster-Waldau. I think he would make a great Magneto. For one, he's
Nicolaj.
It's not all of the J. Is it?
Yeah.
But you still say Nikolai, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think so.
Silent J.
Nicolaj.
I don't think that's right.
I think it is.
Well, you know what? Agree to disagree.
All right.
Nikolai or Nicolaj, come on the show. Tell us. I don't know why you'd come on our X-Men show, but because they're going to cast you as Magneto, that's why. He looks the part better, I think. Like we did say before, Magneto was a bit big. We feel like he was a bit bigger in stature. Daniel Craig's like 5'8", and like I'd say, he's just kind of thick and like kind of dumpier. This doesn't look like Magneto to me. But Nikolai Coster-Waldau, he's about the right age now. He's got the gray hairs coming in and stuff. He looks super good with like the long Magneto hair. Great actor. He can play that character perfectly that he sort of played. Like, I don't want him to be like Jamie Lannister, mind you, but Jamie Lannister is kind of an awful character, but for some reason you like him anyway. When
he's got humanity. He's got humanity.
Yeah, so he could play Magneto. Like, he does horrible things.
He's in love anyway. He's in love. Whether it should be who he's in love with is questionable, but at least it's something you understand.
Yeah, well, he did other bad things too because he's a Lannister. But yeah,
but
so
he
can play that role. You get what I'm saying there, though.
People are made of multitudes, Devin. There's no good and bad. Just loves to see it.
So, and he's very handsome, and as an older fella, Magneto somehow always gets the younger ladies, like Rogue and stuff. So, like, it's perfect. Like, it's the perfect casting. It's not like James Bond is now like, oh my God, no. It's even worse. Why? I don't understand. Somebody who's a techie, help me. I'm losing my mind with this soundboard. So, yeah, Nikolai Coster-Waldau, what do you think?
Agree.
All right, we're there.
Yeah, he's fine.
What did you think of that other addition to this game I sent you?
I don't remember what that was.
I sent you a picture of 3 of the Skarsgård brothers. And I'm like, you know
Oh.
what? We should just cast these guys as villains because Bill Skarsgård already has an evil face, so you might as well cast him as a villain.
He's already been in the X-Men movies.
What?
He was in Deadpool.
Oh crap!
He was Zeitgeist.
Right. He was Zeitgeist.
Yeah.
What a waste.
Well, I mean, this is a whole new world. Doesn't matter. So
Yeah. I would make him arcade. He just has an arcade face to me.
No, he's too tall.
No,
he's too tall for arcade.
Too tall.
All right,
Yeah, they're all very tall.
You pick who the next person is. We'll do it next week. So we did Xavier last week. Magneto this week. Who do you want next week?
Let's do Storm.
Okay.
Ooh. That's gonna be a tough one.
I feel like I'm not even going to bother looking at anyone up. I'm just going to agree with whatever you say. I don't know if I want to get into the fight that it's going to be if I pick someone that you don't agree with.
Still pick Halle Berry.
I was going to go with the other Halle Berry that played the Little Mermaid. I'm kidding.
Is that her? She's
No,
Halle Berry.
It's Halle Berry. I'm kidding.
Yeah. That's not a good pick either.
I wouldn't have picked her. I'm just kidding. Calm down.
No berries. Unless it's Barry White.
Not Marion Barry?
But he's not alive anymore. Barry Manilow.
How about Matt Berry? For what we do.
Matt Berry. Oh man,
great story.
I want him in the X-Men universe somewhere just because I love everything he does.
He'd be a robot. He'd be a robot or something. His voice is what people like more than his actual performances. Though I think he's fantastic. I love him in everything he's in.
Oh, Toast of London, man. It's
yes, I hear you, Clem Fandango.
Ray Purchase.
Yeah, I guess you have to. Yeah, I probably give it Ray. Yeah. Always in the white suit. You always have to. Yeah, and I guess it's the tough part is too, and it gets tougher as you're casting these things. Is casting someone that hasn't already been in the Marvel universe because there's a lot of them.
I totally didn't think of that Skarsgård thing. You're right though. He was in it already. Zeitgeist.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that just showed up. Like I was thinking about the IT crowd because the Irish guy, he met Chris O'Dowd. He was in Thor the Dark World. He went on a date with Jane Foster. So, like, it's
who would you want him to play in the?
But even like Melissa McCarthy was one of the Asgardians, like playing Hera.
She's an Asgardian, right?
And so is Matt Damon and one of the Hemsworth brothers. Yeah,
yeah, because they could play superheroes too. They're tall and ripped and handsome too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like, I also think of those Skarsgård brothers because they are so tall and stuff, so they could all play like kind of creepy villains. Like I was thinking one of them could play like Omega Red, and one of them could play like Sauron or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one who played in the Northman. I think he'd play a good Carl Lycos. He'd be a good Sauron, I think.
That's kind of a waste, I think, to make him into a pterodactyl.
Like man,
the guy from True Blood.
That's the other guy into Zeitgeist and threw him in a wood chipper.
That was before he was in it and all this other stuff.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Okay. So, Alexander Skarsgård. All right. Before we get to this, what type of? I guess that we'll talk about it next week. But what type of storm are we doing? Are we doing an older storm or a younger storm?
What do you
are you doing been around the block storm as kind of like a leader, or like? And also keep in mind that you can't like the person
has to play Storm for a long time, so you have to cast a little younger.
Because I was looking at someone that I thought would be kind of cool, but I think she might be too old.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I always wanted Angela Bassett to be Storm, but she is too old now.
And she's also been in the X-Men.
She's also Queen Ramonda, and she's great in that role.
Yeah. So tough calls. A lot of good choices out there.
Yeah, I don't know who. I'm gonna have to do some research on that one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll come to a conclusion though. This is going to be the definitive cast. They'll probably take it.
And they'll definitely come to us and say, "We love what you did. Here's a big check. Thank you."
Mm-hmm.
Think that'll happen?
I'm just going to call you guys spiritual casting agents.
Yeah, or they'll just
Lebowski.
They'll just take the idea and not have to credit us at all, and probably in exchange for not suing us for talking about all their show as much as we do.
That seems like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like some money. If they cast me in the show, that'd be great. Who would I play in the X-Men universe?
You eat gratitude. You don't need money.
I want to be in the movie. Make me an X-Men character.
I want to be in the movie too. I want to be in a comic book. Come on, Dave Cutler, draw us into a comic book.
Oh, that would be sweet. Dave, draw us into a comic book. That'd be amazing. There's just
I've been bugging them for like a year.
Two nerdy podcasters in the background. Just
exactly, but we have recognizable looks. You'd know it was us.
Yeah, like Cal from Strange Adventures got drawn into a few comics back in the day, and I remember every time I see one. I think Nick Bradshaw slides him in every once in a while, somewhere in the background. It's pretty funny. I think it might have been that comic he did, Bermuda. I think it was about like that island, where it was like that was kind of outside of time, where there are monsters and stuff, and
sounds cool.
Yeah, Bermuda Triangle kind of thing. But there was, I believe there was like a guy that looked like Cal running around in the background somewhere.
In Bermuda.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very well. Moving on.
Moving on up.
Homework with Professor Zandre.
We'll watch the next episode of the show. Why don't you do that?
What's it called?
It's called episode 10, Shadowed Past.
This is the Wolverine one you've been waiting for.
Actually, no, it's not. I'm sorry.
Oh, no?
It's episode 9, Survival of the Fittest.
Oh, yes. This is the one where they all go like camping or something, and the Brotherhood's there too. I remember this one actually from when I watched it in 2000. Somewhat.
Yes, so go watch that one.
Yeah. Survival of the Fittest, and meet us back here if you are fit enough to make it. The weaklings of the unfittest, they'll never make it here next week. You know,
they shan't
make it, but we'll be pulling for you. We hope you all make it here. You can support our show on Patreon/X-Men Review Show. Get your merch over at the Redbubble, or on the Patreon too. Contact us at xmenreviewshow@gmail.com. Find our audio-only version wherever you get your podcasts. Please like, review, and subscribe. And follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And check out our family of podcasts, I guess you would say, over at the United Federation of Podcasts, ufpodcasts.com. Anything else? Any final words? You getting ready for Christmas, Andre?
I've already done all my shopping, I think. I think I'm all done.
All done. Well, I'm yet to begin. For the most part. I've got some things, actually.
You got 2 kids to shop for. It's going to be fun.
Oh, that's all done, pretty much. They don't need any more toys.
Well, what are you getting them? Or what's Santa bringing them?
Well, I don't know. I'm confused because Edith's birthday is kind of like right before Christmas. It's next week. So
you can't combine the two. That's not
fair.
I'm
not, but it's just like which present goes where? Is it a birthday present? Is it a Christmas present? These are the questions that keep us up at night as parents, Andre. You have to lie awake at night worrying what to get Lebowski for Christmas.
He doesn't need
I
very much.
I say thee nay.
He doesn't ask for very much. Just the occasional head scratch.
Snuggles.
Snuggles.
Likes to bite your foot every now and then.
Yes, he likes to use my foot as a pillow and then get pissed if I accidentally kick him because I forget he's down there.
Oh,
as he is right now, aren't you? Yeah, you would. You little mush. Little mush. Yep.
All right. Well, let's get out of here, man. Enjoy the rest of your week.
You too, my friend.
You too, everybody. Catch you next time.
X-Goons.
Cool. Then I'm out of here.